Gurave Namaha. Om Gurave Namaha. Hari Om Gananam Tvam Ganapatim Havamahe Kavim Kavimamupamashravashtanam Jeshtarajam Brahmanam Brahmana Simvanuste Siddha Sadhanam. Om Gurave Namaha. Om Gurave Namaha. Om Gurave Namaha. All right, everybody. Happy to see your wonderful, wonderful, wonderful faces. Today, we are going to be doing a topic called tit for tat. And we made today's class available for everybody to be able to participate so that we can all have a more understanding of this subject matter, tit for tat. What does it mean, tit for tat? All of you might have heard this, statement, tit for tat. You do me, I will do you back, right? You slap me, I will slap you back. You punch me, I will punch you back. An eye for an eye, an ear for an ear, a leg for a leg, tit for tat. Is it really on every situation of our life that we must apply tit for tat? Are there point where tit for tat is not supposed to be applied? What do we understand by this comment or this thing, tit for tat? You see, it is very, very important that each and every one of us understand that in life, we are naturally designed in a way to exact revenge, whether grossly or mentally, to anyone that does us anything wrong. Now, what are the different stages in life where a lot of us, we are bound one way or the other, we want to apply tit for tat? Those stages are when someone defames us. Please, can you mute yourself? When someone defames us, nobody like to be defamed. Any of you here like to be defamed? Raise your hand up. Nobody. Anybody like to be blasphemed? Nobody likes to be blasphemed. When we are being defamed and being blasphemed, at that moment, there's this burning fire, because tit for tat is a burning fire. A fire to prove my innocence. I have to prove my innocence. If I don't prove my innocence, everybody will take advantage of that. When we are being cheated, is there anybody here that likes to be cheated? Nobody likes to be cheated. When someone cheats you and you come to understand that somebody has cheated you, it burns the body. Anger is a fire. To seek revenge is a fire. It burns the body. How dare this person? No. Even when we are doing a business transaction with people, we expect people to do honest dealings with us. Is that not so? And if we don't do honest dealing with people, it's okay. They should not be angry, but they should do honest dealing with us. Right? Tit for tat. And also the scenario where we also want to exact tit for tat is when when someone curses us, when someone lay a curse. When someone lays a curse, how dare this person lay a curse on me? I'm going to lay my curse back on this person. And these scenarios, the desire to want to get even, to want to get even on the person is very, very strong. And the question is, why do we have this strong urge to want to get even with people? When people do something to us, when we experience some bad things from people, why do we have this strong urge? No, you did this, I'm going to do it back to you. And even if we did not do it back to the person, and it is just a thought that we have in our head, we did not do it back to the person, it's just thoughts that we have in our head. When something bad happens to that person, we become very, very happy. Why? Be like, oh, see, you did this to me. That is why karma has caught up on you. Yes, my God never fails me. God that never fails the innocent. You have fight for me. Is it really God that fought for you? A question we should ask ourselves. Why do we get excited when bad things happen to the people that has done us wrong? Why do we feel, oh, God is the one? It is my spirit, my this that is protecting me. That is why. No, no, no. That is ignorance. And because it is ignorance, we are all being carried away in this ocean of ignorance again and again and again and again and again and again. We are being swallowed. Once upon a time, there were two best friends. They went to take their bath in the river. And while taking their bath in the river, there was a celestial divine person that was passing by. Now, out of respect that this celestial divine person should not see their nakedness, out of respect, they quickly, carried their, they just picked any cloth that they see and they use it to cover themselves. Now, it so happened that among these two friends, they are of different class. One is of the, high polished family, and the other one, the family is not so high polished. So mistakenly, the one that is not from a high polished family took the cloth of the one that is from a high polished family and used it to cover herself. Now the friend saw this, she like, how dare you? How dare you use my cloth to cover yourself? How dare you? You are just like a dog that is licking the food of his masters. How dare you? Now the other friend could not tolerate it. How dare you? She got back. How dare you talk to me? And then she pushed the other friend and pushed her in a well. And stay here. You see, when it concerns tit for tat, a lot of us, there are two ways we tend to want to get back at people. One is we can verbally say it to them, or we do by action. Oh, you did this, okay, I will show you. In each and every one of us, there is a demon, including me. There is a demon in each and every one of us. And what is that demon? It is a demon that wants us to be even with people. A demon of, oh, this person did this to me. All right, no problem. I'm waiting, I'm watching you. Even after so many years, that activity has happened, we are still, whenever we hear that something bad happens to that person, there's a certain satisfaction that comes to our mind. Why? Because we are demoniac. A lot of us, we pray to God, but we also have demonic tendencies in us. But what does it mean to tolerate people? How do I tolerate a person that is bad? How do I tolerate a person that has done bad to me? How do I understand it that this is what I need to do when every part around me is boiling to get even at the person? Tit for tat. You see, the society that we lived in right now is a society that values how you are able to get even with people more than how you are able to understand why certain things happen between you and people. That is the society that we live in right now. It is a society where everybody around you is so busy, focused on how do I get even with this person? This person did this. How do I get even with this person? Oh, he started a business before me. He took my business idea. Okay, I will go and do something against him so that, he does not make any progress in that business idea. He took my husband. I will go and pray against him so that she does not get any child. Tit for tat. Over the course of years, why did I choose this topic today? I chose this topic today because it's something I've been wanting to talk for a long time. But over the course of years, I have seen how a lot of people that have come to meet me, they come to meet me not with the intention, some come with the intention of wanting to have, some genuineness, to have a genuine understanding of themselves. But some of them come to meet me with the intention of, how do I get even with people? How do I defeat people? How do I become powerful that I can defeat everybody? Whoever has done bad to me, I want to defeat each and every one of them. And when we pray to God, what do we pray for? All my enemies should die. Is that not what we pray? Die by fire. All of the enemies, the ones that are calling my names, the ones that are not calling my names, the ones that are thinking about me, all of them should die. That's what we pray. That, to me, I see it as one of the most, as one of the most ignorant prayer that we pray that puts us more in bondage. Do you know that if you can tolerate the negative thing that other people do to you? See, when the law of nature is designed in such a way that if somebody comes to give you what you don't want and you don't accept it, it goes back to them. Is it not so? That is how the law of nature is. Once upon a time, there was Mahatma Gandhi, and he was traveling in a coach, in a ship. And while he was traveling in a ship, there was this man seeing Mahatma Gandhi. It's like, he's just a pretender, pretending to be a saintly person. He's just a pretender. So let me do something. Let me stir him up. So what did he do? He took a paper and he drew a caricature of Mahatma Gandhi, a caricature, and he wrote some negative things about it, and he gave it to him. Mahatma Gandhi took the paper, looked at the paper, he kept quiet. This man that did the caricature was busy looking, wanting to see the reaction of Mahatma Gandhi. How is he going to react? How is he going to react? How is he going to react? And it so happened that Mahatma Gandhi did not react. So he was restless. He came to meet Mahatma Gandhi. I gave you something. What did you do with it? He said, I threw it in the dustbin. He said, why did you throw it in the dustbin? I gave it to you. I threw it in the dustbin. Why? Because there is nothing useful in it for me. So also a lot of people that comes around us, some of the things that people say to us is not to break us, but it's just to see us react. Some people gain pleasure in seeing you reacting to what they say to you and how they behave with you. Some people gain pleasure in that. It is the reality. When someone says something to you, oh, look at you, Lisette, just see what you are. Look at you like this, you're like that. And then you get riled up. Oh, you say this to me. Some people, they, just by seeing you getting riled up, that they said something to you, they get pleasure in that. But when you ignore them, by ignoring them, that fire that they were trying to send to you, you send it back to them. Now the fire burns them more. But why is it so difficult for us to ignore things? Why is it that when we hear certain things, Oh, the husband said this to the wife. The wife said, "You saying this to me? You are like this, you are like that." And the wife, the husband will also say back to the wife, "Ah, you are like this, you are like that." Front and back, they are saying things to each other. And the more they keep saying things to each other, the more the anger is pounding. And then they start thinking that they hate each other, they don't like each other, they don't want to be with each other. Why? Tit for tat. It's how the society is. It's how the mind is. From the moment you were born, from the moment you started going to school, from the moment you started associating with the world, everything about the society is teaching you. If somebody point finger at your face, point finger also at the person. That is what shows that you are a strong person. That is what shows that you are macho. But how do you tolerate? How do you tolerate? Because we don't know how to tolerate, it makes life difficult. How will you feel, Ladifatu, that somebody goes and say a lie about you? Someone just
before I was crying when I heard stuff like that. I cry. I don't really react, but it burned me inside. I cry for it.
Why are you saying
But
this
now
about
that I know
me?
better, I usually when I'm mad and keep it for myself. Even you hurt me, I just shut up and cry and let it burn out. Because if you are react, I will kill you. That I know myself. So, but now that I know better, that sometimes they just want to push you to the wall, or just want to see what, or maybe want you to get it some feedback, some bad thing coming to you. So now I'm not. When it's like that, I just look at you and say, "Okay, Krishna, I'm here. I'm here. Please help me."
Right? That is very good.
Yeah.
That is very, very good. Thank you. But still, even though we be like, okay, no problem, or this is what you have made it happen, no problem. But still at the back of our mind, when something bad happens to them, there's a certain satisfaction. Okay, yeah. My destiny has fought for me. God has fought for me. That is why the bad thing has happened to them. Why? Because at the back of our mind, we are naturally programmed to always want to seek revenge, whether we want it or we don't want it. Nobody likes to be insulted, but when you are being insulted and you keep quiet, you'll be like, oh, people around you will ask you, why are you keeping quiet? But the reality is, a lot of us, we allow the restlessness of other people's mind to disturb our own peace of mind. This is the unfortunate nature that each and every one of us we have. What is that unfortunate nature? The unfortunate nature is the restlessness of other people's minds. We easily allow it to disturb our own inner peace of mind. And because it happens all the time, we ourselves, we don't even know ourselves. We don't have a balance with ourselves. Why is it that we are always very, very prompt? Like, oh, we feel this wryness inside of ourselves. It is because, one, we don't have proper spiritual discipline. When there is no proper spiritual discipline, it is very, very easy for us to think that everything is unfair. I'm a good person. Why should this bad thing happen to me? If I'm good, God, fight for me. If you are the one that fight for the innocent, fight for me. Why should we even pray like that if we have proper understanding? It shows that we don't have proper understanding, and that is why we think that we are good. Don't worry, wait, Ladifa. Time for question week.
Before I forget, I just want to ask, what is it okay to get mad at Krishna, the Lord, or you don't even have? I don't know if
I
you
understand
get
your
the.
question. Is it okay to get
Yeah.
angry with God?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of us will get angry with God. God, why? Why? I'm a good person. I'm following all the instruction. I'm doing everything good. But then why should bad thing happen to me? Once, my grand spiritual teacher, he wrote a book. He said, I follow everything you ask me to do. I'm good to my neighbors. I treat everybody with love. I give help to people that are needing help. I give, care to people that needs care. I share myself to people. But why should bad thing happen to me? Even after doing all of these things, you said I should do all of these, and I'm doing them. I do it all properly. I look at myself and I ask myself, is there anything that I'm missing? And I see that there is nothing that I'm missing, but still, why should I have this uncurable disease? He said this. He wrote a book. This book he wrote, Die Before Dying. I gave a class about it some last week. Die before dying. He said, why? Why should I have this? Why should this negative thing befall me? Even after following everything you tell me to do diligently, not missing one. He was diagnosed with melanoma cancer. Cancer of the bone. His bone was breaking. It was very painful for him at the last stage of his life. Why? I've been saintly all through my life. I've been helping people. I've been charitable. I've been smiling. I've been giving your knowledge. I've been doing everything you asked me to the book. But why should this bad thing happen to me? He said, my Lord, I'm asking you why, but you are not speaking to me. You're silent. Why are you silent? I'm angry, Lord. Why are you silent? And then the Lord said, you were doing all of those because you were thinking doing that is what is going to please me, but that is not what is going to please me. All of those are just activities you need to do to help your mind be on track, but does not mean that it is what you have to do to be able to get more closer to me. So a lot of us, when we think that because we are praying to God, we think that because we are, we are doing some certain spiritual rituals and all of that, does mean that no bad thing is going to happen to us. That is one of the biggest lies. A lot of us, we think that because now I'm following a spiritual teacher or I'm listening to a spiritual person, I'm trying to live a clean life. I'm trying to live a life that is free of problems and all of that. So I am not going to encounter any negativity. That is a lie. Actually, that is when we are going to encounter more negativity. But at that point, when you encounter those more negativity, the state of your consciousness is what is being observed. God is not looking at the big things, external things you do. It is the state of your consciousness. Now, there's a question to all of you before you go. You don't need to answer me right now. The question is, what is your state of consciousness? What is your genuine state of consciousness? Your state of consciousness is not how you speak to people externally, show to people that you are good or that, or you are doing this activity, you are doing that activity. That is not it. What is your state of consciousness? What is your inner dialogue all the time? Because that is the criteria. The criteria is not about how wonderful you follow all the rituals. A lot of people do rituals to the core, like cent per cent. They don't miss anything. But still, they are not one step closer to understanding the divinity that is called God. Why? So if the rituals are not the criteria, then what is the criteria? If the prayers are not the criteria, then what is the criteria? The quality of your mind. Quality of your mind. Tit for tat. And nobody wants to be cheated. How do you feel? You went to buy some things and you thought that you thought you had a good deal. And then you come to understand that you were cheated. How do you feel? Ah. See, when we get cheated, The reason why we get angry is not because somebody cheated us. We get angry because we feel like it makes us feel like a fool. Nobody wants to feel like a fool. Please, can you mute yourself? Nobody wants to feel like a fool. And that is what happens. That is what happens when we feel we get cheated. We feel like, oh, I have been made a fool. I've been made a fool. And we see it as a source of weakness. Once I was in my pilgrimage in India. So while in India, I went to, I don't know how the transportation is in your different country, but in India, they have this system of transportation whereby, they have the tricycle. It's not keke napep. It's not keke. This one is like a bicycle, but the human drive it. It's a bicycle with a 3-seat at the back, and you sit inside, and then they pull you. It's like, they pull you along. So we're sitting in this Indian transportation, and I asked, what is the, from here to from this location that you're taking me to the other location, how much is it? He said, just very simple, 100 Indian rupee. It's like, oh, okay, that's good. But as a Nigerian, we are naturally taught, don't always accept everything you hear, always bargain first. That is the Nigerian tendency in all of us. We always want to bargain. So I said, 100, okay, I will give you, I'll give you 80 rupees. It's like, okay, just give me 90 rupees. Okay, no problem. I said, okay, because in my head, I was thinking, I've made a good deal, from 100, I've been able to get, 90. So 10 rupees is for me in my head. So it got to the destination, and then my friend was waiting for me. He's like, what took you so long? I was like, well, I got this taxi, they call it rickshaw. I got this rickshaw, and it's like, how much did you pay? I said, 90 rupees. He cheated you. It is just 20 rupees. It's just 20 rupees. I said, really? He said, yeah, he cheated you. Said, at that moment, I started looking for the rickshaw. Where is he? Where is he? Where is he? He's gone. At that moment, I felt inside of me, there's a sign of anger. Yes. Why was I angry? I felt angry because I felt that I have been made a fool. And this is, at that point, I really want to get even with that rickshawala. This is the same thing with each and every one of us. Our stories might not be the same, but it is a fact. When people cheat us, we get angry. Not because the cheating has happened, but because we've been made a fool. Nobody wants to be made a fool. And because we've been made a fool, we want to get even with those persons. How dare you make me a fool? We want to get even with them in whichever way possible. So you should ask yourself, let us make this more, let us make it more personal. How many of you here have been cheated before? Can you raise your hand up? I'm not able to see all your faces. Just a minute. Let me remove this spotlight. Okay, you've been cheated. All right. How was your experience? How was your feeling when you felt that you were cheated? Were you happy? Be truthful.
No. I feel bad.
Felt bad. Do you wish to get even with the person?
Yes, of course.
Right?
I wish I can revenge.
This man did this to me. Right?
That was before, but now my mind is calm.
Now we understand. Now you are associating with me. I understand. Tell me about before.
But still sometimes I still feel kind of, wow, why did this person do this? Meaning I'm a fool. Like 2 weeks ago, I bought something for a price and they brought it to me. I was like, this price for this thing. Then I saw it in another place. It was very cheap. I said, oh God, I wish I can call them to come and take it back. You know?
See? You see, when it concerns money, it has a way of playing on us. It has a way of playing on us. And that feeling of, why was I cheated? Why should I be cheated? Nobody likes it. See, if you cheat other people, it's okay. But if people cheat you, no. If you cheat other people, we call it what? Intelligence is wise. You know? But if other people cheat you before you are able to cheat them, then it bites the body. Nobody feels comfortable with that. But this shows our level of ignorance. It shows what? Our level of what? Ignorance. It shows how conditioned our mind is and how the noise of the mind is so loud that the only thing that comes to our head is, I'm going to get even with this person. In the sake of, do you know that the Titanic, how many of you have heard of the Titanic? You've seen the Titanic movies, right? You've heard the story of the Titanic, right? Wonderful. Do you know that the Titanic was built because of an insult? Do you know? Yes. Once upon a time, there was a ship called RMS California. You see, this RMS California was so wonderfully designed and so big that it was considered at that time the best ship in the world. But one man, feeling insulted that RMS California, because he went on board of the ship and he was not treated nicely, he felt insulted. He said, I'm going to get even with this builder of this RMS California. I'm going to build a ship that is going to be bigger, better than this RMS California. And what did he do? Some years after, he built a ship called RMS Titanic, a ship that God himself cannot sink. But the ship got sunk. That was the name. A ship that what? God himself. It was said that God himself cannot sink this ship because of the kind of technology that was put into the building of the ship. So what happened? You see, when the ship, the Titanic ship, when it was, before it struck the iceberg, it was given notice, but it refused to listen. Why? Because the notice was coming from RMS California. It refused to listen. No, California, because the ship was modeled after what? RMS California. Or what does RMS California has? It has nice polishing. We're going to make our stainless. It uses heater. We're going to use electricity. All true. The ship made of full electricity. Oh, it uses coal. We're not going to use coal. All electricity. They did that. Now, when the time came, the ship was being given notice, but it was ignoring the notice because what? The notice was coming from RMS California. When it is sinking, it was now giving out its own distress signal. The people that came to finally come to rescue RMS Titanic was still the same RMS California that it was refusing to listen to. So you see the thing with the mind. You see the thing with the mind when it comes to what? The thing with the mind when it comes to when it comes to insult is that the ego becomes so loud that we don't want to take any advice from anybody. But those people we ignore are also the ones that comes to our rescue at the last moment. Just like RMS Titanic. In RMS Titanic, there were wonderful, powerful people that were in that ship. People of great heritage. There's a banker. I've forgotten the name of the bank. It came to my head now, but I've forgotten the name of the bank. It's a very big bank in America. The owner of that bank was also on the ship. All of these people were all on the ship because they think that this is a ship that what? God himself cannot sink. They put so much faith on the ship, but also the ship was made what? Was built based on what? It was built on a false foundation. The foundation at which the ship was being designed and built, it was not a strong foundation. What was the foundation? It was the foundation of, I need to get even. I need to be better than this other person. Anything that is done on such foundation does not last. Tit for tat. Anything that is done on a foundation of, I need to get even with this person, it doesn't last. A lot of people here and a lot of people in the world, they are starting business, not because they have proper understanding of business, but they are starting business as a result of what? An insult. Oh, you insulted me. I will show you that I can do better. You will see, you just watch. It's just going to be a matter of time. I will show you. A lot of us, we start activities, and any activity that we start based on this foundation of the ego being pricked, based on this foundation of the ego being insulted, such things doesn't last. And that is why I say to you, rather than wanting to be so, to get even with people, learn to tolerate. Learn to tolerate. Because understand one secret right now. Let me tell you one secret right now. A person that insults you, that says bad things about you, that defames you, and you do not get angry, you were not disturbed, that person carries 30% of your bad luck. Do you hear me? A person that insults you, like really say bad and mean things to you, and you did not retaliate. You were in control. When I say you did not retaliate, it means that your mind did not get angry. You didn't think about it. You just ignored it. You were tone deaf to what the person was saying. 30% of your bad luck goes to that person. 30%. And then a person that comes to physically abuse you, and you were gentle, okay, you ignore the person, which is very difficult to do. But you ignore the person. 100% of your bad luck goes to that person. Did you hear? 100% of what? 100%. But when the person comes to insult you and you also insult the person, so what is happening here? You are taking the person's bad luck. Because what? Now you've defended yourself. Now you've done what? You've defended yourself. Now the universe is not going to interfere. The universe is not going to say, okay, I'm going to rescue you, because now you've said, I can defend myself now. Once, there was a lady called Devayani. You see, this Devayani, have you heard of this planet Jupiter? You've heard of the planet Jupiter? Okay.
Yes.
The planet Jupiter has a son. His name is Kucha. Kucha went to meet Shukracharya, which is which is Venus. Venus is an enemy of Jupiter. So he went to meet him because Venus himself is also a teacher. Jupiter is also a teacher. Jupiter is the teacher of the gods, while Venus is the teacher of the demons. So he went to meet Shukracharya, Venus, to learn a particular mantra. It is called Sanjivani mantra. What is Sanjivani? Sanjivani means it is a mantra to be able to bring back to life that which is dead, especially within the first 10 minutes before they die. After they die, the first 10 minutes, you can still bring them back to life if you know the mantra. So he went to learn this mantra there. While he went to learn the mantra, the daughter of Shukra, Venus, became enamored and fell in love, with him and said to him, I love you. I want to marry you. And the boy said, I perfectly respect you, I understand, but this is not why I am here. I came here to learn from your father. It will be an insult to your father that instead of me learning, I am becoming distracted by, seeking pleasure. And the lady became furious. How dare you reject me? She became furious and said, oh, so you're not going to marry me? He said, I'm sorry, but no. So, okay, I curse you. There is nobody on the surface of the earth that is going to marry you. The boy got angry. He said, why are you cursing me? Yeah. And the boy said, okay, I curse you that you will not be able to get married to anybody from a higher from a upper family like your family. In this way, the lady finally, at the end of the day, she has to go and marry someone that is lower than her. This is tit for tat. An eye for an eye. Now, imagine a situation where he was being cursed and he tolerated her. Understanding that everything people say to us when they are angry is simply nothing but a disturbance of their mind. It has nothing to do with us. But it is difficult. Why is it so difficult for us to understand? When a person is angry and is shouting, what is really happening is just the disturbance of the person's mind. It's not our mind. But we allow the negative disturbance of other people's mind to easily control us and put us also in discomfort. Tit for tat. Okay, let us ask questions. Questions before we continue? I'm waiting for your questions.
I have a question, sir. Can you hear me?
Yes, Miss Sonia.
Okay, my question is, you said anything that started on the basis of maybe someone provoking you or, based on your ego, that it's built on wrong foundation. But is that not what we of this generation call like you are being motivated? So let's say you are somewhere now and then you see somebody doing something and then you're also motivated, not like in aspect of say, okay, you want to do better than them, but you're also motivated. You got this idea. Some people get idea from other people doing well, and then you have this idea and you also decide to, okay, you want to do this thing also. So does that mean you getting the idea or you seeing somebody doing it and then you also wish for yourself to also be good, not like to be better than anybody, but you also know that this position you are is not okay. You want to also do something for yourself, like you are being motivated to also do and try to copy them in a good way to also do something for yourself. Is that a bad thing?
It is bad.
It's bad.
Yes.
So being motivated, like overall being motivated by something you see and then you wish to also do same is bad.
Yes. Let me explain to you.
Okay.
There's a prayer that I always pray. Actually, I started praying this prayer some months ago. And what is that prayer? My Lord, please grant me the strength never to be jealous of another person's grace. Did you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Lord, please grant me the strength never to be jealous nor greedy or desirous of another person's grace, because whatever grace you've given to them is unique to them, and the grace you've given to me is unique to me. You see, a lot of us, we don't really pray that God should help us to have clarity on the grace that he has given to us. But we feel very much motivated to want to follow the grace of other people. In such way, it doesn't last. There is no peace of mind. Anything that is built on that foundation does not give any peace of mind. You go and look at it in history. There is no one that follows other people or say, oh, I'm motivated because I'm seeing the grace of this person, so I'm motivated. I want to push myself so I can also have a grace like this, even though I want to do mine in a positive way. But there's no one that starts like that ever become peaceful or is happy at the end. And that is why to know how to pray is very, very important. And the prayer is, God, give me the intelligence, give me the strength. Because it requires strength. It is not easy. To not be jealous of another person's grace, it is not easy. It is very difficult. When you are seeing other people are making more progress than you, and you are not making that much progress, you are seeing other people are doing things or have a certain satisfaction in their life, and you are not having that much satisfaction, your mind will make noise to you. Your mind will murmur. What are you doing? Look at that person. Look at that. Your mind will compare you to them. And that is why we must know how to pray. Lord, please, please, Lord, please give me the intelligence and the patience never to be desirous of another person's grace, because their grace is their grace. My grace is my grace. You gave it to me. No one, my grace cannot be compared to another person's grace. Is that not so?
Yes, sir. It's true.
So that is not motivation. That is motivation in ignorance. It is not motivation in intelligence. It is not motivation in goodness. But unfortunately, this is what the society is being taught today. This is what, when a child goes to school, this is what the teachers are teaching him. Oh, you need to be first. You need to compete with each other to be first. And your success in today's day and age is based on how much anxiety you have. That is success. How much anxiety you have. That is what is considered to be a successful person. So your question is very beautiful. You always ask intelligent questions, Miss Sonia.
Thank you, sir. Okay, so I also want to ask in another aspect now. Let's say in aspect of relationship, for example, now, because I believe every young lady or woman that's growing up now, they have to have like a beautiful marriage and peaceful home and happy home. So, like for example, and when we all like think of the kind of marriage we want or what we want for ourselves, the kind of kids we want to have, how our future will be. Most of us, maybe for example, let's use Obi Kubana now. A lot of us are saying, okay, see the way Obi Kubana and his wife is, see the way they are, see the way they are living. You know, I also wish to be a supportive and a good wife to my husband, and my husband can also be proud of me in the future. So, like, I'm not saying, I get what you're saying, that, okay, desire what other people have. I understand that aspect. But, like, for every young lady now that has this mindset of, okay, I want a good marriage for myself, that one is like a general desire for everybody. You know, so is it also a bad thing for you to desire something good for yourself? I feel like it's not a bad thing for you to desire to be happy, or desire to also get married and also live peaceful, you know. Or maybe you are having problem in your own home, and then you saying, okay, I also desire to have peaceful life, because okay, maybe you see other people, not necessarily because of what you even see, like generally everybody desire to have peaceful and happy life. So you desiring something good for yourself, or you thinking about it, or your mind being troubled because where you want to be is not where you are. Is it like bad for you to like desire to But if you don't have this desire to make to be better, how do you now improve to be better if you don't have the desire to be better?
That's a good question. Desire.
Yeah.
First of all, understand that the reason why you are here is because of a desire. The reason why each and every one of us is born is because of what? A certain desire. And the reason why we are in different positions and in different states of our life right now is because of what? A certain desire. So can we rise above desire? No. We can't rise above desire. Can we pray that good things should happen to us? Everybody is praying for that. But the reason why it so happened that we pray for good things to happen for us, but it is not coming to us, is because one, we are not understanding desire in its realistic way. We are not seeing desire in its most realistic way. See, any desire that you see, what is the main desire of the soul? The major desire of the soul is, I want to be of service. How, in whichever form, I can be of service to people. That is the main desire of the soul. That is the main number one craving of the soul. So now when we see certain people, do you know who is called St. Francis of Assisi? Have you heard of him?
Yes, sir.
St. Francis of Assisi, he said a prayer. Lord, please give me the courage to accept the things about my life that I cannot change. And please give me the strength to change the things that I can. Should I repeat it again? St. Francis of Assisi, he made a prayer. He said, Lord, please give me the courage to do what? To accept the things of my life that I cannot change, and give me the strength to change the things that I can. This is the prayer of St. Francis of Assisi. You see, in life, we are desirous of so many things, but understand that those things that you desire so much that you are not getting, that is where your punishment is. That is where your punishment lies. And there is a reason why it is not coming to us at the moment that we are desiring it. A woman gets married. Every woman desires to have a peaceful marriage. Isn't it so? Nobody desires that, oh, I want my marriage not to be peaceful. No, nobody prays for that. Nobody wants that. The moment they are getting into marriage, the first thought that they use in entering into the marriage is, it is going to be a peaceful marriage. But then later on, over the course of time, it becomes a chaotic marriage. It becomes some people's marriage become very, very toxic. Why? Because it is a life experience that they had to experience for the soul to be able to shed off that desire. The reason why they experience that chaos in that marriage is because of a certain desire like this that they had in a past life. And because they have such desires that is not in alignment with the purpose of the soul, they have to be punished. A lot of us, we are being punished heavily because of so many desires that we have that is not in alignment with the desire of the soul. Which is a question we should ask ourselves, Miss Sonia. What is the main prayer or the main thing should be, how do I align my desire with the desire of my soul? Externally, we are wanting to make things happy for ourselves, but external happiness is not what is most important. Although it may make you to feel that everything is okay. My teacher said something to me. He said, those people, when you see them, that are always smiley, those people that when you see them, they show you that everything is okay. Those are the ones that have the most toxic life. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
They are the ones that have what? The most what? Toxic life.
It's true.
Those people, those husband and wife that you are seeing on the road or in the internet, they are very jolly, touchy, and everything. They are the one that fight the most in their house. It's a fact. And those people that you see, they dress so much. They take, whenever you see their picture, they are dressing so much. They are showing nice things on the internet and everything. They are the one that don't, they are the one that don't have anything. I'm sorry. I'm just trying to make a point. You know, but they are the one that don't have anything. So yes, we desire to have things, which is okay. But those desires, if it is not in alignment with the desire of the soul, then it's difficult. First of all, you spoke about marriage. Let us talk about marriage a bit. What is marriage? A lot of people don't even know the concept of this institution called marriage. In Nigeria, it is called, in Nigeria, in Yoruba tribe of Nigeria, where I'm from, it is called, you know, Igbeyawo, Iyawo. It means what? Igbe, Ari, Iya, difficulty, and then you look at it. Let me translate it to English for some people that may not understand. It means to go and carry suffering, and you look at it. You go and carry suffering. That is what marriage is. So when we are talking about the concept of marriage, let me bring it to the main proper way. All right. Marriage is a journey. It is not for happiness. It is not for love. It is not for, serenity. Happiness, love, sex. These are part of the packages that comes with the institution, but that is not the main institution. How cooperative the spouse is or how not cooperative he is all part of packages that comes with the institution, but it is not the institution itself, because marriage is a journey. A person that you are going to embark on that journey with to finish a particular unfinished karma from your past life. Just like right now, from the moment we started this class, we've been on a journey. This itself is a marriage. We've been on a journey. Now we are going to end this journey at one particular point or the other. Now, how you understand what I'm saying right here, that is what is going to make this journey, this marriage, either fruitful or not fruitful. This is a partnership. That is what marriage is about. It's a partnership. The person, you enter a partnership to be able to finish an unfinished karma. And in that partnership, there are packages that comes with it. Some of the packages are pain. Some of them are happiness. Some of them are luxury. Sex is not the main essence. A lot of people think that a good relationship is about how you are able to smile nicely, have proper sexual relationship with a spouse, how you are able. No, that is not a good relationship. I had some early couples that just got married, they just got married. When a couple just get married and they start having the first fight in their marriage, they start thinking like, did I make a mistake? Did I make a mistake? That is the first thought that comes to their head. Did I make a mistake? But I did not see this part of him before. Why am I seeing it now? Why is it that we are not even able to agree on one thing? And then they fight, they quarrel, and then their mind is so heavy, then they go and look for somebody. In the first phase of marriage, there's always going to be one person that they will look for that is a counselor. Please advise us on this marriage. I don't know what is happening and everything like that. And that person also is going to advise you based on what his own experience on what is called marriage. So there are these students that came to me and they was like, oh, sir, I don't know. I was thinking it's just going to be nice, but she's just talking back at me. She's shouting, we are fighting. I said, well, that is marriage for you. It's like, no, you should talk to her so that she listens. No, that is marriage for you. Marriage is not where someone does things according to how you like it. Marriage is where someone does things in accordance to how you don't like it. That is marriage. So we shouldn't get carried away by the glamour that we see. Those are just external. Is it bad for us to wish that for ourselves? It is not bad. But is it in accordance to the desire of the soul? That is what is most important. Do you understand, Miss Sonia? Okay. Any other question? Yes. Atabe.
I understand, sir.
You know what I noticed? It seems like being in this class for the couple of months that I've been here, everything that we were born, like the jealousy, the following other people, and the retaliation, and the feeling angry, and the getting even, everything, the arguing and fight or flight, it's all bad. How are we born with the instinct to do bad, and now we have to unlearn what we feel inside in order for the graces of the grand creator to appease? Like, I don't understand why it's like we were born with all this odds stacked against us, not stacked against us, but stacked the wrong way. And now we have to relearn the right way when we were born knowing the wrong way. Like, why is it like, to me, it's like, why do that to us? Why couldn't, like, you see what I'm saying? It seems like everything that comes inheritably naturally, like jealousy, like the things that just come natural to a human being, envy, sometimes negative thoughts, sometimes, is wrong. It's all wrong. Why is that the natural way is wrong? Why are we born that way?
Thank you. Beautiful question. Do you know why we are born that way? It's because, you see, when a man and a woman comes together, their inherent darkness comes to manifest in their children. The darkness that they don't show, the face of their life, the things about themselves that they don't show, it becomes more magnified in their children. So when a person externally might show that he's a very good man, but in his mind, he's very, very jealous, he's very, very envious, he's very, very greedy. When he has a child, the child is going to have that part of the quality more magnified. And that is why you're going to see the children of pastors, the children of ministers, their way of behaving is totally opposite to their father. And you'd be like, what? But this is the child of a man of God. This is the child of a pastor. This is the child of this. Why is the child behaving like this? It is because the inherent tendency, the inherent, the inherent negative traits of the parent comes to roost, becomes more pronounced in the children. And the society is so designed in such a way that the right teachings are not being taught. And this is how the human mind is also. The human mind it easily, accepts bad things quicker than accepting good things. You see, it is so easy for you to learn things that is bad, and you understand it quicker than understanding things that is good. It takes you a long time to understand it and digest it properly. That is one.
You see how you said the child, the offspring, is born with the bad traits amplified.
Yes.
Why is it not the other way around? Why are your children not born with their good traits amplified? Why is it the bad? This is where I'm going with the nature tends to lean towards the hidden things, the bad things. And now you have to search deep inside your soul and listen to your guru and just do all these things just to reverse how you were born.
Of course.
Wow, that's crazy.
It is as simple as this. Imagine in each and every one of us is a potential for spiritual growth. In each and every one of us. Why? Because we are all spirit entities having a material experience. So it is inherent in each and every one of us to seek the divine, whether we seek it consciously or unconsciously. It is inherent. That is the primary instinct that comes to each and everybody. But because of the environment that thing is growing, it becomes difficult. Let me use the parable of Master Jesus the Christ. In the parable of Master Jesus the Christ, he spoke about the farmer that went to the field to plant. And while throwing his plant, in some places, he threw the seed and the seed fell on fertile grounds. In some places, he threw the seed and the seed fell in a thorny weeds, grasses. In some places, he threw the seed and the seed fell on top of rocks. And in some places, he threw the seed and, the seed fell in between sand and rocks. Now, when it became time for them to grow, the one that was on a fertile ground, it grew nicely. But the ones that was on the rock did not grow. It dried off. The ones that was thrown in between the thorns grew, but it became very emaciated. So also, it's this idea of the divine, is this divine quality that is in each and every one of us. It becomes magnified based on the ground at which the seed was being, sown. And what is that ground? That ground is the womb of your mother. How spiritual you are is not about how your father is. How spiritual you are depends on the quality of your mother's womb. Because in your mother's womb, that is where you inherit all the curse from past generations, present generations, future generations, in your mother's womb. So the analogy of the farmer throwing his seeds is like saying about the mother's womb. What is the quality of the mother's womb? There are certain children, you see them naturally from birth, they are very spiritual. Naturally. Naturally, they don't want to associate with anything that is bad. You go and look at the mother. You look at the mother. From looking at the mother, you will understand the quality of the soul that takes birth in that womb. It's not saying look at the father. The father is this giver of the soul, yes, but it's not saying look at the father. It says look at the mother. Because from the mother, you will understand the quality of soul that is coming out from that fertile womb. So why is it that nature designed us in this way? Nature did not design us in this way. It is the illusion that is around us. The essence of you going out of the illusion is to be able to see. It's like when you are in a hospital. There's so many curtains. I don't know if you guys have that kind of hospital in your place. When you're in hospital bay, you see they just draw curtains everywhere. If you want to see the other person in the other side, you have to pull the curtain aside for you to be able to see. So that is the illusion that is there. The mind, the illusion of the environment binds you. And also understand one thing, majority of the negative thoughts we have and not our thoughts. Majority of the negative thoughts we have, negative impulses we have, are not our impulses, are not our thoughts. They are the projection of the society or the environment that we are living in. And because it is a collective projection, we are bound to, we follow that way. Just like when the wind is blowing. When the wind is blowing, the corn that is not on a proper land, on a proper soil, when the wind blows it away. And this is where the point of samskara comes in. Samskara means the way of life. The way of life. How you are able to navigate from good to bad depends on the first teachings you got from the womb of your mother and the first teaching you get when you are growing up with your parents. Samskara, which is a question to all of you right here, all of you that is here that are parents. Your children misbehave or not misbehaving, go and look at yourself. Look at yourself when you were pregnant for your children. Look at yourself when you gave birth to your children. What kind of etiquette did you impact upon them? Because that becomes their guiding compass. You see, I'm writing a book. I'm very lazy in it, but I'm still writing. From one of the passages of the book, I'm going to share with you guys here. And it is said that, I said in that passage that when you were born with both the negative propensity of your parents and of your mother and your father. From your age of 1 till 25, you are trying to fight against the negative propensities of your father that is inherent in you. From your age of 25 to your age of 45, you are trying to fight against the negative inherent propensity of your mother that is present in you. It is only as from your age of 45 onwards, then you start trying to understand yourself. Then you start finding that you are now more mentally focused. Like, okay, you're not carried away. The things that easily carries you away, or the things that easily, it's no longer happening. You are more composed, because at that time, that is when your own nature start becoming manifested. Do you understand what I said? Do you guys understand it?
Yeah.
From your age of 1 till 25, you are fighting against what? The negative tendencies of your father that you've inherited. And they're pushing you, they're pulling you. That negative tendencies is greed, is anger, is jealousy. Everything is pulling you left, right, center. And your own thought is just very tiny in between this. And then from your 25 to your age of 45, the greed and the jealousy of your own mother is pulling you left, right, center, and you are not able to understand yourself. And that is why you see a lot of people are always confused until their age of 45. It is only after 45 onwards that they start having clarity, because that is when their own mind, their own consciousness starts becoming more manifested. Like, okay, all right, what is this? Okay, no. This is not me. I don't want this. No, I don't want this. Do you understand me? Okay. Do you understand?
So how come siblings can be so different? Like, you can get two brothers and sisters, but they're like so different. So how does it work then?
It's all the same thing. The fertile ground. You see, when a woman is pregnant for her first child, the way the consciousness is different from when she's pregnant for her second child. Consciousness. The same thing also when she's pregnant for her third child. The way the consciousness is not going to be the same. The consciousness changes. And based on how the consciousness changes, that is what is going to determine what the primary nature of the soul that is being born out of that fertile ground. Understood? And that is why you will see siblings are different. Siblings' desires are different. Siblings, propensities are different. Why? Because of the mother.
Okay, I have a question, sir.
Yes, please.
Okay, from what you just said, so as a woman, how do you have a filter or like a quality womb? Or you said something about the quality of your womb. So
Yes.
how is it possible? Is there any factors that affect the quality of your womb? Are there any factors or are there anything that you can do to improve the quality of your womb as a woman?
But of course, there's a lot of factors that affect the quality of the womb. Once there was a king. This king was born in a very pious family. You guys understand what I mean by pious? Very saintly family. And it so happened that the king had no child. And he was like, why am I not having a child? He was so stressed, so stressed. He did all rituals he can do. He did all prayers he can do. And then finally he had a child. When he had the child, he loved the child so much. But the child became very, very demonic. Polar opposite of the father. When the child plays with people, when the child plays with his co-mate, he will kill them. Yeah. The child became so evil that whenever he's passing by, all his co-mates, his classmates, and all of them, they will hide. Because if he plays, he kills people. The father was so stressed until when the child became, mid-teenager, he left home, renounced the palace to him. Do whatever you want to do. He left. So the sages, they gathered, like, why is this child bad? What is the reason? Why is he bad? So what did they do? They went to search the genealogy of the father. The father's genealogy, they are all good people in his family. But why is he bad? And they see the mother's father was a demon. And because the mother's father was a demon, the mother also has that tendency of a demon. And that is why when she was pregnant, a thought was demoniac. And the child that comes out of it was also demoniac. So a lot of women, they will ask themselves, why do I have children that is like this? Why is this child like this? Well, it's very simple. Your womb. How can you cleanse the womb? That is the question. It's a very good question. To cleanse the womb is not something you do. It's not like you take a cloth or you take something and then you start cleaning the womb. It's not an external thing. It is a spiritual practice. This happens, one, you must have a regulated way of living. You must have a proper way of living. You must have a teacher. You must have a spiritual practice that you follow. Because the womb is affected by what? The consciousness. Understand? Sonia, the womb is affected by the consciousness. What is the consciousness?
Yes, sir.
What about the ancestry line? Doesn't it have an effect on it?
The ancestry line is there. The contribution is not so much as the contribution of what is in the mother's womb, because the mother's womb, that is your first school. That is the first place you are interacting with the universal element. You understand? And that is why it is said, father is not the first teacher, mother is the first teacher. Because it is in the mother's womb that you start learning. Now, what do you learn in the mother's womb? It's dependent on what? The mother's consciousness.
So, like, basically what you think about while you are pregnant, or?
Not basically what you think about when you're pregnant. Your own inner consciousness.
Okay.
What you think about when you're pregnant is not a factor, because what you think about keeps changing every day. It changes every minute, every second. So we don't consider that. Yeah. You might be talking to me right now, but you are thinking about something else. That is not a factor. It is what is the most predominant tendency.
So women that are, what if they get pregnant, but their husband is abusive throughout the whole pregnancy. What happens to the child then?
If the woman is good, the child comes out more better.
Even despite the abuse?
Of course. I have seen so many women that were abused. I'm not soliciting for that. Please, whoever that is going to be listening to this is just for teaching's sake. You know, I have seen so many women that were abused by their husband, but the children that they gave birth to became president of the nation. Powerful president. Why? Because the consciousness of the mother was intact.
Well, example, Ronaldo.
Sorry?
Ronaldo, this footballer, Ronaldo. 7.
Okay.
He said the
Ronaldo.
father used to beat the mother due to alcohol because he doesn't take alcohol. Yeah. So the father used to beat the mother.
Wonderful. But please, if all of you that are married, don't beat your wife. You know, don't say because Sukadeva said you can beat and then the consciousness is what is more. Don't do that. If you do that, the universe is not going to be happy with you. You know, so yes, it is true. I have seen the consciousness of the mother is what determines the nature of the child. But I have also seen that a woman that is pregnant and she was very, very fearful, when the child is born, the child will also be very, very fearful. Consciousness. So your consciousness, that is your inner person. That is who that person you don't show often, but that person is who you really are. Understood?
Just going back to tit for tat.
Yes.
How does one, because it just happens instant, how does one avoid or how does one keep calm and how does one keep calm? Because it's such an instant feeling that happens that you just overreact or react to that. Is there a certain mantra or some practice that you can do, that you can practice just to keep yourself calm when such things happen? Because it's an instant thing. Just like as David said, that why are we born like that? Because it happens instantly. What can one do?
How do I not be angry when circumstances around me is pushing me to be angry? How do I not be sad when circumstances around me is pushing me to be sad? It is not easy. It is not easy. It's not easy. It is very difficult. But this is where constant prayer is very, very important. And what is that constant prayer? A constant prayer that, Lord, grant me the strength to change what I can and the courage to accept what I cannot change. People will insult you. That is a fact. People will abuse you. That is a fact. But you understand that whatever abuse that people abuse you, whatever insult that people give to you is as a result of their own consciousness. It's not as a result of your own consciousness. But how to handle it? It's not easy, my sister. Even when you don't want to think about it, your mind will bring you back there. You see, it's like, how many of you has eaten? It's like eating a food and then you have something stuck in your teeth. When you have something stuck in your teeth, what happens to the tongue?
You keep trigger it. You keep trigger the whatever stuck in your teeth.
No, the tongue automatically keeps going there.
And trying to dig it out.
Yes. You don't want to go there, but the tongue automatically, you just keep going there, and then it keeps you in a state of anxiety. That is the tongue for you. Just like when even if you have some certain toothache somewhere like that, the tongue will automatically want to go there. That is the nature.
And life is really hard. It just makes life, it's just really hard.
But of course.
I think it's the hardest school that we can ever be at.
Yes. But this is where having the teaching of the teacher and having a proper spiritual discipline helps you. Because the tongue is like the mind. The tongue is what? It's like the mind. When you have something stuck in your teeth, the tongue automatically wants to keep going there. But now you have to use intelligence to tell the tongue, no, don't go there. Stay there, stay. The more you ignore it, the quicker and the easier it goes away. But still the tongue you still want to go there. And like you even find yourself, your mouth, you want to use your hand to keep touching the place. Why? Because the tongue is going there. It is the nature of the tongue. It is the nature of the mind to make you want to dwell on things that people did to you. But this is where the intelligence has to be employed to bring back the mind. So how do we rise above that? It is only with intelligence, by bringing back the mind. The mind will always go. You have to bring it back. Okay, no, let's not think about that. All right, okay, let's not think about that. That is not denial. That is not, what do you call it in English again? Yeah, denial. There's another English word they call it. That is not acceptance. I don't know. I'm trying to something with D, something like that. It's denial, and then there's another English word. You know, it is none
depriving.
It's not depriving, no. You know, it's just using intelligence to not accept, to make the mind calm. That is the only way, but it is difficult. It only becomes easier when there's proper spiritual practice, when there is a teacher that we are using to guide ourselves. Because you see, this life is like an ocean. An ocean. It is only when imagine you are swimming in an ocean, you are drowning in an ocean, and someone throws you a lifeboat, a life jacket, or a lifeline. That becomes your refuge, isn't it? So also the teaching of the teachers, the spiritual practice, this is our lifeline so that we don't drown in this ocean of this world. Because everything around you is designed to drown you. Your happiness is going to drown you. Your sadness will drown you. Everything is designed to drown you, and a lot of people are drowning in this ocean every day. It is only with intelligence that you can rise above it. And that is very difficult. It's not so easy. So tit for tat, when people offend you, it is easy for us to want to get revenge at the person. Oh, you did this to me. I will do it back to you. You will see. Because we live in a society where we are so, the society is designed in such a way that every one of us wants to become very, very masculine. It's a masculine society, where we think that the only way we can show that we have strength is by getting even with those that offend us. Because if you don't get even, it's very bad. It's very bad. Some days ago, I was teaching some of my students last Sunday. How do you know who is a genuine spiritual person? How do you really know who is a genuine spiritual person? Is it written on the face? Is it written on the cloth? Is it written on the words the person say? How do you really know who is a genuine spiritual person? What are the characteristics?
It's written in their action.
Is it written in their action? No. Because our action also can be very, very deceptive. It's not written in the action. It is written in the mind. And that is what you don't show to people. We don't show it to people. How good or how bad we are, we don't show to people. We pretend to show. But we only know what is the content of our heart. When someone offends, imagine you are driving a car and someone did something to you. The first reaction will be, let me get even back to this person. But then, see, there are two types of people. There's one person that when you do him something bad, he will do it back to you. There's another person, when you do him something bad, he won't do you something bad. He will think it in his mind. He will nurse it in his mind. But for him to do it back to you, he won't be able to do it. Those ones are the ones the world called cowards. Those ones are the one the word called, oh, he's a coward. He's not a strong person. He's a woman. That is what, let's put it in that word. That's what they call it. But that's not true. That is not true. Learning to understand that everything that is happening to us is as a result of the divine will. It's not going to come so easily. We need proper spiritual practice to be able to come to this point. For everything I'm saying to you guys right here, if you don't have the proper spiritual practice to understand it, it will just be something that tantalizes your intelligence. But you will not be able to really understand it deeper. And you will not be able to extract the essence out of it. So, my dear friend, it's not easy, but we have to continuously call back the mind. You understand?
So I have a question.
Yes.
So in the example of what you said, the word called coward,
yes,
which you said maybe the person gets angry, and then in his heart, he felt angry in his heart, but he didn't have the heart to just do evil or pay evil for evil, and then at a certain point, he let go. You understand? So is it bad? Because like we're taught when we were going to church back in the day, they used to tell us that thinking about it, but thinking about it is not really a thing. Sometimes some thoughts can come into your head, but you have to be able to let go of those thoughts. Don't dwell on it to the extent that you start to carry it out. That's where it becomes a sin. So what I'm saying is, maybe somebody did something really wrong to you. You get angry instantly. You just feel it without even knowing. You just feel very disappointed instantly. But you not being able to dwell on it, maybe at a time you let go, you don't really dwell on it or let it eat you up to the extent that you really want to revenge them. So that instant anger that comes to your mind now, that one is instant. So like, is that an offense that you felt that way? Because like how you really feel sometimes is not something you can control. So you just feel like that sometimes, but you're not dwelling on it or acting upon it. I think that's when it becomes bad. So maybe when it comes to you like that, and then you, but you didn't nurture that thought for long. Yeah. So you getting angry instantly is it bad? That's what I'm trying to say. Like you getting angry instantly, or you feeling angry instantly for what somebody did to you, but you didn't do it back to them. But that instant anger that you felt for some time before you were able to calm yourself down, is it bad?
No, it is not. Just like when you hear something good has happened to somebody that you know, there's a certain instant greed that comes to the mind. It's a certain instant burning. Oh, okay, I'm happy for them. I'm happy for them. I'm happy for them. But there's still a certain, oh, why them? Why has it not come to me now? Why? It happens. Being able to call back your mind, that is where the intelligence is. Do you understand? Being able to call, imagine you, Sonia, you have a friend that you know for a long time, and all of a sudden your friend bought what's it called? What is your best, what kind of car do you like?
The G-Wagon.
Okay.
Yeah, probably.
Okay. So let's say all of a sudden your friend just buy a G-Wagon. He's a friend, you know, eh? You just buy a G-Wagon. The moment you see it, you're like, hey, I'm happy for you. But in the mind, there will be a residue. There will be a residue of, oh, why has it happened to him yet now? That is the ego. The nature of the ego is to act like that. Just like the anger that we feel when someone did something to us, it is the nature of the ego. It's to act like that. For you to be able to call it back, that is where the intelligence is. Now, when we speak about acting on it, there are two ways you can act on it. You may not initially act on it, but there are also people that instigate people to act on it for themselves. On their own, they are not going to do it, but they will say things to other person so as to push the other person to do it for them on their behalf. Now, that is bad. Do you understand? That is bad.
Yes, sir.
But when the thought comes and saying, what is this nonsense thought? Pushing it away, and that is intelligence. That is good. Okay. So the first anger that comes, you cannot chase it away. The anger, naturally, it will come. It will naturally come. But being able to substitute it with intelligence, that is good. Okay.
Would you encourage one to practice yoga? Sorry, Sharon. Would you encourage one to practice yoga? Because with me, I realized that when I was practicing yoga, but I tend to be a little bit calmer than I'll usually be when I'm just myself.
Yeah, practice yoga. Yoga is good. Practice, see, anything that helps you to control the noise of the mind is good. Some people find it in yoga. Some people find it in writing. Some people find it in hiking, you know, going on a long mountain hike. Some people find it in different things. So anything that helps you is all good. So yes, practice yoga, practice meditation, you know, but above it all, to understand yoga, to understand meditation, you must listen to a teacher.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, sorry, sir. I wanted to add something to what Sonia said.
Yes.
So you know there are some kind of people that when you do something bad to them, if they don't express their feelings, like that moment, I shout it out, I let it out. So when they keep it in their mind, become more worse. Like they start planning, like having evil thoughts against you or having some kind of thoughts against you. So I wanted to ask, is it better to shout out, like how should I? I'm not gonna say right now. Like to express yourself, like shout at the person, let them know that this thing you're doing to me, I don't like it. It is wrong. And at that moment, when you say it out, you free yourself, your spirit, and everything. You're calm. But I don't know if it's right, or should we just keep calm and just let it keep eating us up? Like,
see, when we are angry, different people react differently. You see, the feeling of getting angry and then expressing it out when you are angry, it is based on what? The mind also. It's based on the mind. And this response is not for everybody. There are certain people, when they are angry, they become very, very calm. I have an uncle like that. You see, he talks normally, but when he's angry, he starts talking very slowly. Like the reverse. And that one is more dangerous. Yeah. Other people, when they are angry, they shout and everything. But when he's angry, he becomes very calm. And when you're talking to him and when you're talking to him and you see him talking very slowly and very calm, you know that there's something happening. So yes, when you get angry and you shout it out and everything, that does not mean that the problem is gone. That does not mean that the grudge is gone. That does not mean that the enmity is gone or the anger is gone or everything is gone. No, it doesn't mean that. It's just an event that is happening. Is it good? Everybody have a way of processing things. Everybody have a way of processing things, but is it helpful? No, it is not helpful. It is not helpful because one, what does it show? It shows what? It shows how uncontrolled the mind is. So, okay, so what should I do? Should I just keep it inside and let it eat me up? No, you should not keep it inside and let it eat you up. For you to be able to control yourself, you need spiritual practice. A lot of people that are not able to control themselves, especially control their impulse, when they get angry, the first thing they want to do is they want to lash out. They want to, because they feel that by lashing out, they are expressing or they are releasing their frustration. It is a lie. They are not releasing anything. They are not releasing any frustration. The frustration is still there. They may say that, but I have forgotten it. No, it's not gone. It's still there. It still plays. So what is the best way? The best way is one, first of all, understand yourself. We must first of all understand ourselves. A lot of us, we don't understand ourselves yet. We are still trying to understand ourselves. And because we don't understand ourselves yet, we don't understand our emotions. And because we don't understand our emotions, there are certain things that we do that is even still very strange to us. What I advise is learn to breathe. That's what I advise. What is that? Learn to what? Learn to breathe. A lot of people don't know how to breathe. Because understand, your anger is controlled by what? Your breathing. When you are angry, how do you breathe? You're breathing fast. Why? Because a lot of energy, a lot of oxygen is required to fuel that fire that is burning. But when you're able to control your breathing, you are reducing the fire. You understand, Sharon? God bless you. Okay?
How do we learn how to breathe?
Yes, who's that?
How do we learn how to breathe?
How do we learn how to breathe?
Yes, the right way.
Every day you wake up, sit down, at least maximum sit down for 5 minutes. See what I'm doing? You see me? You see this? Yes. You should learn breathing, count to 10 or 20, however it is you want to do, and then release, counting to 10 to 20. It's very, very helpful.
So when you're shaking your hands, you're holding your breath?
Yes. Yes. When you're shaking your hands, you're holding your breath, you're counting. Because how do you protect yourself from anger? It is by controlling your breath. A person that is angry, when a person is angry and is talking to you, how are they talking? Are they talking slowly or they're talking fast?
Fast, loud.
When they are talking fast and loud, what is happening? Meaning they are breathing too fast. They are breathing loudly. But when you're able to have control over this, you'll be okay.
Thank you.
God bless you. All right, I'm going to leave you guys now. Any question? Mr. Mayaki, Evelyn, Angela, Abraham, Kofi, Joy, Puma, Ladifatu, Lisette, Ellis White, Donko, Samsung. Any question? Abby.
My question is.
Yes, sir.
My question is, I see that your wife had a baby. You post a picture. Say my newfound love. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
You did not announce it. You did not announce it to us. Congratulations, sir.
Thank you, thank you.
Okay,
thank
so
you,
my
thank you.
question is, how can
Is
I
it a
be a
baby?
good
Wait,
person?
wait,
Is
thank
it
you
a
very
baby
much.
boy? Is
Is
it
it
a
a
girl
girl
or
or
boy?
boy?
It's a boy.
Oh.
Thank you. Thank you.
Babu, I have a question.
Just a minute. Let me hear Mr. Abraham's question. Yes, please.
Let's go.
My question is, how can I be a good person? Does it start with the mind? And how can I meditate on it?
That's a very good question. How can I be a good person? Everybody is trying to be a good person. I'm also trying to be a good person. First of all, we must understand what is a good person. Is a good person based on what the society feels is good? A person
Yeah, that
that
sounds a little bit
fast,
confusing.
a person that speaks good to people, eats nicely, sleep nicely, go to church all the time, or go to the temple all the time, or go to mosque all the time, that reads book. Is that a good person? What is a good person? What is a good person? Our understanding of what is good or what is bad is actually based on what the society, gives or explains as what is good, as what is bad. So, but then what does it mean to be a good person? What it means to be a good person is to be in alignment with your soul. To be a good person does not mean that you have to do things nicely for everybody. You see, this is where a lot of people get confused when they say, and this is where also a lot of people, try to live a fake life that puts them in difficulty. When they say, okay, I'm a man of God. When they say I'm a man of God, they tend to want to live their life as if it is filled with holiness, while their mind is not holy.
Yeah.
And in this way, they put themselves in such a situation whereby they are not really able to live according to their tendencies. And when they do things according to their tendencies, people become like, how can a man of God be doing that?
Yeah.
So what is good? What is bad? What is good? What is bad? There is no good, there is no bad. It is how we decide to see it. So to be able to be a good person, a good human being, does not mean that you have to give charity to everybody on the surface of the earth. Does not mean that you have to smile 24 hours to everybody that you meet. Does not mean that you need to speak very gently to everybody that you meet. No, that is not the criteria of being a good person. To be a good person means you are sincere with yourself. Do you understand? You are sincere.
Yes,
you are sincere with yourself. You are sincere with what you do. A good person is a man of what? Integrity.
Integrity. Okay.
Meaning what you say is what you do. You don't say A and then you are doing B.
B.
That is a good person.
Right.
A good person is a person that keeps his promise.
For real.
You don't make promise and then you don't keep the promise. If you say, this is what I'm going to do, that is what you do. That is a promise. You must keep it. That is a good person.
Thank you, sir.
All right. God bless you. Okay. Thank you all very much. In the absence of any other question, I would like to say thank you all for being here. I think this is how many hours, but thank you. We are grateful.
Thank you.
3 hours.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
God bless you and
Thank you.
have a wonderful
Almost 3 hours.
okay. Thank you. God bless you. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. And all good wishes fly from me to you, to wherever you are. God bless you. And I love all of you. God bless you. And I'm proud of all of you. Keep practicing. Keep trying your best. Au revoir.
We love you too.
À bientôt.
Thank you, sir.
Bye.
Thank you, sir. Bye.
Bye-bye.